Computer. Okay, and good morning, guys. Welcome in. My name is Jackie G. If you don't know me, today we are going to be talking about organizing our travel business. Okay, this is going to just kind of be like, excuse me, a high level overview of different platforms, different strategies, just things to keep you organized. So I do see a couple of newer agents. I see a couple of seasoned agents. Okay, so this is for everybody, right? Whether you're getting started, whether you need to reorganize or just do something a little differently. Okay, so let's get started. Let me open this up and share my screen. Before we get really going, if everyone can find the chat box, please. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do we feel about our current business organization? A 10 being we are highly organized, know exactly where everything is. I feel like Elizabeth's going to be a 10. And a 1 being I have no idea where anything is. And, I have to go and search and Google and go through 3 accounts to find the paper. Where are we at? Where are we at? See, I knew Elizabeth was going to be high. 2, 3, 7, 8. Okay. Okay. Always room to improve. Love it. Okay. And don't be shy, guys. It's okay if it's a 0. That's absolutely okay. It's okay if it's a 12. That's cool. All right. Love it, guys. So I did drop a link in the chat. Okay. Today, I don't have slides. We're going to be talking through a document today. So let me go ahead and share that. So I do want you guys to follow along with me. Okay. So, saw some beginners, saw some intermediates there. So it does seem like we have a decent hold, on what business organization is, okay, and what it can do for us. So we're just going to get started on some general organization. Okay, so first and foremost, I do like to start with the Google Suite. One, because the majority of the options on there are free and because they do connect really well together. I'm not personally a big Microsoft person, but obviously Microsoft has comparable platforms to all of these. So feel free to use whatever makes you comfortable. Okay. So within the Google Suite, right, we have our sheets, which are those spreadsheets. Okay. And those are used for multitude of purposes. I know not everyone likes sheets, so you can also use the docs or the documents. Okay. I personally use those to organize my clients. I drop everything from my job forms onto my Google Sheets. I use those to organize prospective business partners, that type of stuff. Okay. I love my docs, right? I'm on a Google Doc. Okay. I use Google Docs for everything. I love how easily it connects, how easily I can organize it. I do use Gmail for my basic email. I do also use it as one of my domain emails. I do have 2. So one of my domains is through the Google Suite. Okay. So not only can you get a free email, guys, okay, you can also get your paid business email. So if you need that, my companies We Travel Smarter, so I need an at wetravelsmarter.com. I can still do that through Google. Now, typically a business email will cost something, so just so you're aware, but maybe you need another email for all of those travel ads and everything that we get. Okay, go create a free Google email. The calendar. Now, the calendar has changed some of its features. It is very versatile. Obviously, you can do it on your phone. It's very easy to schedule. I've tried create. It used to be I could create appointments and events on there and have people schedule with me, and that was free. When I looked a couple months ago, I think they were charging like $3.99 or $4.99 for certain scheduling services. So if you are trying to look for like an alternative to Calendly or something like that, Google Calendar absolutely works for that. Just be mindful that they may now have a slight charge. Okay. But the calendar is also a great place, not just for your stuff, but for also keeping track of your clients' travel. Okay. So you can set up your reminders, you can set up times for to send out your emails, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Another feature that Google has is called Keep. It's kind of like sticky notes. Okay, if you can see over here on the right, that's that yellow square. It's like a light bulb. Okay, and Keep is pretty much like notes. I don't know if this account has some. Oh, okay, yeah, I do. So these are kind of like sticky notes, as you can see, like checklists. I also can go up here and upload posts and stuff. So I know some of you have heard me talk about boards or tech shorts or something like that. Keep is a very good place for things like that. Okay, you can keep, I love that. You can put like all your text in there, all your scripts. Again, I have these posts, so these I just open up, copy and paste anywhere. Okay. So I really, really like Keep if you just need somewhere to kind of note drop it. Okay, if you're that type of person. Google also does offer a voice plan. If you need a business phone, if you're not comfortable using your cell phone, you don't want to buy another cell phone, or you just want kind of like a generic line, they do have voice plans. I believe they're still $10 a month. Okay. And then we do have Google My Business. Now, I know this can be a pain point for some people. I know that a few years ago, it was very easy to get on Google My Business. After COVID, a lot of the rules changed with all the remote businesses. Um, if you are trying to get on Google My Business or haven't been able to, one thing you can try is when it asks you if you meet with clients in person, say yes. Okay. I know that we are fully remote. I know that not everybody and some people never even see their clients face to face, not even on Zoom, but put yes. Okay. And I say that because it's not, I don't want people to sit there and be like, well, I don't actually meet clients, so I'm lying. Okay. Well, when I'm walking around in public, okay, you guys know I'm with Brian. So when we're in public, he's always talking about travel. So as far as I'm concerned, I do interact with people personally, face to face. Okay. And so I select that for the business. And that is sometimes a way to get around it. Like I said, Google has changed a lot of their rules since COVID. But if you're having issues, I have found that to be a way around that. Okay. And then, of course, we have the Google Drive, which just collects everything we just talked about, right? That's really where you can organize your folders and put everything in one place. So a drive might be good if you really need like certain client documents kept. If you don't have a travel CRM or something set up, the Google Drive is perfect for that. Okay. All right. Again, you guys know me. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat or come off mute. This is a pretty, high level overview, but I don't want anyone to think I'm ignoring them or anything. Okay. So, just as far as general organization, okay, we're just talking about the Google Suite. Now, let's talk a little bit about email options. Okay. Now, if there's something on this list that you use and don't see, drop it in the chat and let me know. Okay. Maybe there's a platform I don't know about or I forgot. So, definitely let me know. Okay. So, when it comes to email, again, we do have our Gmail for the free and for the business. There is Outlook if you would like that business email. There's also Ionos. If you're not familiar with Ionos, they will give you a business email and a domain, and I believe they will do a website for you too. They are very affordable. Okay, I've seen a lot of agents use Ionos. Okay. And then along with email, we have our email marketing, our mass email platforms. So the two that I focus on, I know there are several different ones out there. MailChimp is definitely one of it's a great, great platform. It really is. I personally use HubSpot because it has a lot of features for free. You guys know I like finding my free features. So HubSpot is my mass email platform, and that is what I use for email marketing. Okay. And they also have, they have an affiliate program on Ionos as well. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay. So yeah, Ionos is a very fully involved platform. If you've never looked at it, I definitely recommend at least hopping on there and just seeing what it is, because it will give you some different domain purchase options as well. Okay. So as far as emails, those are some of the basic platforms that we use. Okay. And then your phone. Okay. So remember all through this, the point of all this organization, guys, I will say is that we want to know where our stuff is. We want to know what information needs to go out there, right? If I can't remember, like, do I want to use my cell phone? Do I want to use my Google Business Voice? Do I want to give them Brian's number? And I'm not sure where exactly I want them to call me, then I'm not going to know what to post and put out there. Okay. If I'm confused about it, my clients are definitely going to be confused about it. Okay. So I know some of this stuff may seem maybe a little simple, but especially when it comes to maybe your phone number, maybe you're someone who doesn't like giving out your personal cell number. Okay. They do have different apps that you can use for that. You can get the Google Voice number. I have used Project Broadcast. That is a full SMS marketing platform. I really, really do like Project Broadcast. It does have a monthly fee. And it is absolutely worth it. And they do give you your own business number. So that one I didn't mind. I didn't mind using that business number. While I really enjoyed it, I at sometimes it would kind of rub me, I'm texting people through this platform, and then I would have people join, and then they're getting my regular number. So it got a little confusing for me, but it is a really great platform. So just make sure that you are choosing what works for you. Okay. All right, scheduling and meetings. So whether this is with your clients or whether this is for team building, okay, any of these platforms can work. So Calendly obviously is one of the biggest scheduling platforms that we use here. Okay, Zoom, which we all use Zoom for meetings, and Google Meet. Okay. Now I really like, let's see, I like all of these, honestly. Obviously, I use Zoom a lot. Google Meet is maybe not one of my top ones, but it is part of that Google suite. It is free. It does connect to your calendar, makes it very easy for people to schedule with you. Zoom scheduling is a charge. You do. I was looking at it the other day. I know Elizabeth had said something about scheduling on Zoom, and I was trying to see if I could get it set up. And I do pay for my Zoom currently so that I can have extended time. And it was still an upcharge for me to schedule through Zoom. So I don't know if anyone has like, I don't know, a discount link or a way around that. But that was my understanding. So I do still have people scheduled through a different platform to then use my Zoom. Okay. And then Calendly, obviously, you can have the free account. You can do the one event. If you are using it for team building, it does need to be on the paid app just so you can use those certain features. Okay. But Calendly does offer a free for life um, option. Okay. Okay. Now, the next one I want to talk about, and some people might ask, like, why is Start Me on here? Okay. We all know what Start Me is, right? That's where we go and that's where we look at all of our information. And that's pretty much where our classroom is. So I have on here, I don't know if you guys know who Sukana is. She's part of Team TK. Okay, Sukana does an amazing training on using Start Me for herself. She pretty much uses it as like her back office, so to speak. So every day she goes in there, she has all her daily links, she does her daily to-do list, she has her, highlighted vendors that she likes, all of her forms, and all of her personal business is organized onto that one page. Okay. I really, really did like it. I haven't gotten a chance to set my own up yet. But I think that is a very good thing to just have everything in one place, right? Sometimes it could be a lot. We might get a little busy, or we might want to make sure that we're checking certain things off. Like check your emails, go post, that type of thing. Okay. And sometimes having that checklist can be very helpful. So I did put that training video in there. She does a really, really great job walking you guys through how to set it up for yourself and your daily business. Okay. So like I said, this is a great place for your links, your vendors, checklists, all that type of stuff. Okay, so don't just look at Start Me as our own personal class. It is also for your business, and you can set up a page for free. Okay. Now, when it comes to the finances, okay, how do we get our money? How do we get paid? And actually, I will update this because we don't have this anymore. ADP link in the chat. Yes, America, let me drop that link in the chat for you guys. Yeah. And just a side note, guys, if you guys do not know Sukana, I mean, I hope she has some trainings recorded. She gives some really amazing trainings. Um, she always kind of forgets to record them, but she gives some really amazing trainings. So if you guys follow her YouTube channel, follow her Facebook, she does a lot of really great organizational stuff as well. Okay, so with the finances, I didn't make that change, right? How do we get paid, right? Whether we're charging fees for trips, whether it's through our travel or anything like that. So there are several options, okay? Square and Stripe, I'm sure you guys recognize. Those are one of the top two largest, online paying platforms, I guess you could say. The biggest difference is a lot of people ask. Stripe works really well internationally and everywhere. Square works really well for not only just US, but more for like product purchasing. Okay. You're going to see those Square pads at like mobile bars or little stores, or, you go into a store, they have that iPad. Okay. Square is really good for that type of transactional fees. I have a Stripe personally because I want to be able to take fees from clients from anywhere without kind of having to worry about that. And I find that Stripe can handle that a little bit better. Square's just slightly different. Okay. They are both very good platforms. You can definitely get started with either one. They'll give you the pay links, they'll do the invoices for you, all of those features. Okay. They're both really good platforms. But just so you guys kind of understand that difference. Okay. Then you do also have Venmo. If you have a regular Venmo, Venmo does also offer a business account. So you can put your business name on there. And it's like a storefront that people can. So it's not like they're just, oh, I'm just sending money to Jackie. No, you're sending money to We Travel Smarter. Okay. As a business. Right. Stripe I do like Stripe too. I might get Square We'll see. I looked it up. There's, what is there? Why was I using Square? Oh, I needed multiple pay links or something. But yes, I do like both of them. Okay. Venmo again offers the business. ADP, that is our new way of getting paid and processed. And no, I cannot answer any questions about ADP. I'm really sorry. I just know that that's how we are getting paid currently. Okay. And then there is Zelle. Zelle is not one of my favorites. Zelle does only connect with certain banks, certain types of bank accounts. Personally, I've used Chime for the past like 7, 8 years now, and Zelle doesn't like Chime, so I don't like Zelle. I don't really use it, but it is a very well recognized and safe platform, I will say. And then I did put this on here just because I have seen people use it and because I do kind of want to talk about it. Cash App is on here. Cash App is not something that I would personally recommend to you. And if you're like, well, why not? You can think about it as that perspective. If you were reaching out to someone and planning a $10,000 trip and they're like, great, send me your, $1,000 fee. Here's my Cash App. I mean, there's really not a lot of safety there. I can't really know if I'm getting my money back if I don't know them. So Cash App does kind of have some stigma around it, but if that's something that you are comfortable with, obviously it is a payment platform and you can use it. Okay. And then we have our travel CRMs. Now, I feel like I'm missing one on this list. For some reason, I thought there were four, but I know there is Travify. Okay. And I don't know which one you guys use, which actually drop in the chat. What travel CRMs do we use? And am I missing one? I do feel like I'm missing one, but I'm curious what everyone's using for their travel CRM. And if you're like, Jackie, what's a travel CRM? Okay. A CRM is a customer relationship management program. Okay. That's just the basics of a CRM. And they do have ones specifically for travel, right? America. They have one specifically for travel. So if you see anything that's a CRM, so for example, I'm trying to think what's the best example. We can use Google, like your Google contacts. Okay. So when you like when you're emailing people and you're going into your contacts and you're organizing them, it's just organizing that process for you. It's keeping all their info there. You know that Joe, um, you have his name, his info, his email. You know that you sent him an email last Tuesday about cruising. You know that he opened it on Wednesday. You saw that he replied to you Friday and clicked your link, filled out your form. Okay, you're tracking your marketing with your clients. That is a CRM. So there are a lot of them. Okay, I see there are a lot of different platforms. There's a lot of different ways to use them. The main thing you need to know is that they are pretty much built into everything. It's like an address book. It's like an old school address book, okay, where you're taking all those notes for your clients, you're keeping track of everyone's information, okay? So Google, they're in almost every platform I've talked about, especially with email marketing, okay? It's just a way to organize. So with travel specifically, if you don't have a travel CRM, start researching, okay? A lot of these will give you a free trial to test it out. Um, and that's why I was trying to see who uses what. Okay, Elizabeth hasn't subscribed. I was trying to see who uses what to see if anyone had an opinion. So I have personally tried out all three of these listed. So I will give you my opinion on all of them. Travify was the first one I tried. I do like Travify. I did find it not overly user friendly. But again, and what a travel CRM does is typically they will have options to help you build itineraries. You can build proposals. It's a great place to store client documents like passport pictures, stuff like that. They typically have, a very safe way for clients to pay you and fees in that encryption. Okay. And then they typically have with that CRM, they will store all that info. So let's say you have a client who books with you 3 or 4 times a year. They're always using the same card, right? Travify will hold that or can hold that for you. So that way you can just say like, hey, here's your authorization form, all that. Yes, Elizabeth, you can hold all those documents in there. Okay. Do the automated emails, all of that. Okay. Any travel CRM should do that for you. Okay. So I do like Travify. Travify will also offer you a website. You can build a website on there. With that website building, it was one of the first websites that I built. It is very involved. I don't think it's as easy as some other platforms, but it does have that option. Okay. TravelJoy was the second one I tried. I find TravelJoy to be much more user friendly and kind of much prettier, I think, in a little bit. They do have some really cool features. They do a lot of great things with groups. They have a really great groups program. They do what's called smart proposals, which are just these really beautiful looking proposals. And I do like Travel Joy because I can set something up. I can, let's say I'm setting up a group. Right now, I do have a group trip on Travel Joy. I'm marketing a Margaritaville cruise in October. So I went in, I very quickly set up a group landing page. I dropped in all the info, all the options, and I just put it out there. So right now, people can go and click on it. They can give me their name, number, info. They can pay their deposit and everything. And by that, I mean they're entering their card number, they're giving me the authorization, and I just get an email that says, Sally Sue has paid her $100 deposit for this. And that's great. I just pick up the phone and call Margaritaville, and I have all of their info right in front of me. TravelJoy does make it very, very simple. So I really do like their platform. And again, guys, you can store all those documents. So like the credit card authorization form, anything like that. All your terms and conditions can be stored in there. The one thing with TravelJoy, I will say, they do have a feature that's called trip funds, and it's for groups. So I've seen agents use it. I've seen agents get screwed over with it, and I've seen it be okay for some people. So what Trip Funds is pretty much it's like a TravelJoy bank account, right? So if I was doing this group trip and I say, hey, group, everyone's going to pay into this account, right? So they paid into the account. And that pretty much TravelJoy gives me like a digital credit card number that I can then take to the vendor. Okay. Now, what this does, right? They paid into that account, which comes to my TravelJoy account, right? Under my name. And now I'm now taking that card and paying the vendor. Okay. So now I am responsible. Okay. If I'm going to go and make that payment for them, I'm now responsible. And maybe Julie can correct me if I'm wrong or someone, but I know last year when they had come out with the what was it? It was like the new regulation about agents being responsible with payments and refunds. That's when trip funds started to get a little hairy and those lines started to get a little blurred. Okay. Because we don't want to be responsible for that. Okay. If we end up being responsible, we may be, on the hook for any refunds or anything like that. So I don't ever take any money from my clients. I don't take cash through Cash App to use my card for them. I only send them, their credit card info. I don't even write down their whole number. Okay. I've never written down a full credit card number for anybody. I either do it over the phone or they do it through a link for me. Okay. So if you do look into trip funds, you do look at TravelJoy and you're like, this seems really simple. Please just do the research and just be careful that you're not going to be liable for that. Okay. But I highly, highly recommend TravelJoy. That is currently what I'm using, and I really, really do love it. Okay. The last one on here is Turn. Turn is a very new travel platform. They've been around, has it been a little over a year? Maybe a little over a year. I believe they kind of launched last spring. So I think we're coming up on their year. Now, Turn is a wonderful platform. I really, really, really love Turn. I will tell you why I don't use it anymore. There's only one reason why I don't use Turn anymore, because I absolutely love Turn. Turn was created by a group of developers who looked at every single travel CRM. They asked thousands of travel agents what they wanted, and they built a fabulous system. Okay. Their cruising library is amazing. Okay. And when I say cruising library, you go on there and you type in a cruise, unless you can type in like Carnival 4 day. It'll show you a list of every single Carnival cruise that's going. You can click on it, say insert itinerary, and it will just drop it in for you and make it look beautiful. Turn does an excellent, excellent job with their platform. They will offer a free trial. When you do get started, they have 7 videos that you can watch. It's just like training. They walk you through their platform, show you how to do everything. When you do each video, you earn a $5 credit for each video that goes towards your next month. So when I started, I did what was it? I did a 2-week free trial. It was a 14-day free trial. Okay. I watched all 7 videos, right? So I got $35 credit for that. And it's a total of $39 a month. So I did my first 2 weeks free, watched all the videos, earned $35 credit. So for my next month, I paid $4. So my first, what was that, month and a half of Turn cost me $4. So if you want to look at it, see what it's going to do for you, check it out. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I will get my TravelJoy referral link. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea. I should drop that here. I will get that. Okay, so those are the 3. Now, why I don't use Turn? Because I absolutely, absolutely love Turn. They do a phenomenal job in every aspect. The only thing that I had an issue with Turn was if I needed a client to authorize a payment, if I wanted to allow them to view their itinerary and interact with it, because they can interact with those itineraries. I will say this real quick. Turns itineraries, if I send it to a client, they can make notes on it and not just like writing me messages back and forth. They can go in and say like, "Ooh, we like this location, maybe not this exact hotel. We like this room. We like these types of amenities." Okay, they can leave all those types of things, request revisions, that type of stuff, all through that platform. So it's a really, really cool tool. My only issue was that I could not do that for my clients unless they went and set up an account themselves. So, like with Travel Joy, they don't need an account, right? I can send them a link, they can do all that, they can view everything, they can approve, drop their card number, everything. They don't have to sign up for an account. With Turn, and I've asked Turn support, like I'm sure they're sick of me because every like other week I was like, can we please, please, please change this? Or can I please, set up a customer account for them? Okay. I found it very difficult to say, hey, you have to sign up for this travel CRM that they don't know about and create a login and an email. And that was the only rub. So the second they switched that feature, I'm going back to Turn because I love Turn. Absolutely love it. So Turn and Travel Joy and Travefy are the three travel CRMs. Okay. Any questions on those? I know there's a couple of people who was like, what is a CRM? I don't have a CRM. Who does not have a travel CRM? Don't raise your hand. I can't see the cameras. Drop in the chat. Who does not have a travel CRM? Okay, America, Katie. So is this all brand new? Okay. Have you guys heard of travel CRMs? Like, did you guys know that this was a thing? Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Just wanted to kind of make sure. All right. And maybe, let's get through. So if we have some time at the end, I will hop into my travel joint and I will grab that link then. Okay. But those are our travel CRMs. Now, and with that, guys, remember that keeps track of everything for our clients. So I do keep all my client stuff in there. Okay. I know you guys did hear me talk about email marketing. I do still email market to my clients. That is a separate CRM. That is more for me saying, I know that I emailed Joe about cruising. He gets, 5 cruising emails a year. That's the marketing side of it. Okay. This is for my clients and their info. This tells me that Joe likes to sit at a window seat and his kid has a peanut allergy and doesn't like water. Okay. That's where I keep all that info in my travel CRM. Okay. So just want to make sure that makes sense to everybody. Okay. And definitely check these out. Go and check these out. Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about marketing, guys. So now I know we do a lot of marketing trainings. So I'm just going to be going over just some platforms. Obviously, a lot of these you guys will have already seen. Okay. Now I know we pretty much all create our content in Canva. I know there are other platforms that you can use or different types of AI. I do everything in Canva. Okay. Because Canva does everything: flyers, business cards, postcards, websites, social media posts, videos, everything. Okay. And obviously ChatGPT, who is my bestest friend. Okay. Now, when it comes to posting and scheduling, right, keeping ourselves consistent. So obviously you can post everything yourself. If you're someone who's like, I got this, that's how I want to do it, go through and post everything yourself. Okay. When it comes to schedulers, you do have Ralio, which is through Cruising Power. Okay. If you guys have not signed up for that, it takes maybe 5 or 6 minutes to sign up for that. And they start posting twice a day to, what is it, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Okay. So they will keep you consistent. Metricool is another very fully robust social media scheduler. You can schedule almost any social media platform for free until you add LinkedIn. I don't know why they charge for LinkedIn, but I mean, you can do like YouTube, Pinterest. I'm pretty sure you can do threads too. And then all the main ones, all the scheduling. I do really like Metricool. It makes it very easy to take one post and use it in multiple ways. So I can post a picture and a caption and I can see what it's going to look like on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok individually. Okay. I can go through and edit each message individually, all in the same window, and then schedule. Okay. So it does make that very, very simple. So I really do like Metricool. It is free. Okay. And when I say free, it does give you up to 50 published posts within 30 days, which is quite a few. Okay. So, I mean, at one post a day, you still have 20 posts left. Okay. So that's quite a bit. right? And then you can upgrade for $18 a month. Okay. And I do believe that's my link in there if you guys would like to use that for Metricool. Okay. Again, it's a free account and it covers pretty much all the platforms. Now there is social monials. I've used social monials a couple times. At the time, it wasn't really in my budget to use it. And oh, actually, let me double check this link. I don't know if this is actually still viable. I'm so sorry, guys. I meant to check this. I don't think this is still on sale. Did I have it? Ah, is it still? Okay, cool. It's still on the lifetime deal. Awesome. Um, if you guys don't know what this website is, I will go back in 1 second and tell you. But let's talk about social monials. So social monials is a very powerful social media scheduler. I know a lot of people use it. It does has some really, really great features. I did try it for a time. Okay. So what you're seeing here is a $69 lifetime access. Typically, they do have a monthly charge, so you can pay $19, $50 a month, or $70 for lifetime access through AppSumo. Okay, so there's the link for that. Yeah, social monials is very powerful. It really is. And honestly, now that I see that it's still a lifetime access, I'm strongly considering it. Um, because I don't even know if I can really explain it. If you guys follow Krista Wiley, I think she has it. Travel by Tilly on YouTube. I believe she has a social monials training on there, but people use it religiously. It's a really excellent platform. And now I know it's $70 for life. That's really awesome. It is. So $70 for life, guys. Follow this link, and that is literally $70 for life. You're never gonna pay for it again. Or you could pay $50 a month. Totally up to you. Okay. And then of course we have the Meta Business Suite. Okay, now this is for Instagram and Facebook. Okay, that is the focus of Meta Business Suite. So yes, anything you pay for, guys, as Elizabeth said, tax deductible. Don't forget, these are all business expenses. Okay, so even as I'm saying this, you're like, well, these are all business expenses, right? These are necessary to run your business. So get your money back. Okay, so with the Meta Business Suite, it is Instagram and Facebook. Okay, but for those of you who had used it, you know that it is definitely a one-stop shop, right? I can go on there and post for both platforms. I can track, um, yeah, 97. What? Yeah, no, $69 is much better. I can track, my messages, my comments, I can respond to people, I can set up automations, all that type of stuff. Okay, so if you're maybe like, I don't want to do all the social media platforms, I like my Facebook, maybe I'll expand to Instagram, or if you just don't want to handle all of it quite yet, Meta Business Suite is a great place to start, and it will get you used to that scheduler platform. Okay, it'll get you used to all of those features. All right. And then, of course, Canva. Now, Canva with the scheduler is a pro feature, but you can use Canva to schedule your social media posts. And I know they do Facebook, Instagram. I don't know about TikTok. I'd have to check on TikTok. But I know that they do Facebook and Instagram scheduling. Okay. Okay, so yes, and most schedulers, right, you should be able to, and some of the features, I should say you want to look for, can you schedule out your posts? Can you post across multiple platforms easily? Can you track your messages? Can you watch your analytics? A lot of these should tell you, like, hey, the post you put on Monday, 97 people liked it, you know, it was seen by X amount of people. This is how long it's been on. Like, you should be able to see all those details, okay? Because that's going to help you, right? If you see a post that has 100 views in 3 hours and a post that has 100 views in 3 weeks, that might tell you a little bit of something about what type of marketing you should be using. Okay. All right. Now with branding our business. Okay. Who here has their brand ready to go? Who has their logo down, their colors down, exactly what it looks like? Almost. Okay, Alexa, I know we have some newer people on the line. Don't be shy. It's okay. Almost. Cool. I know America's not the only one in here. Debbie, yes. Okay, cool. We all have our brand down. Yep. And I know some of you have very well established brands. Okay. So branding is a really big thing, right? We're putting ourselves out there. It's a representation of who we are and what our business is. So consistency is key, right? Knowing what your brand is, knowing your colors is very key because maybe some you can't tell the difference in certain color shades. Some people can, and it might drive them nuts if you have two slightly different color reds up there. Okay, so just try to keep everything consistent across the board. You never have to guess. Okay, so one way that you can absolutely do that is with Canva. I don't know if anyone else uses the brand kit in Canva. I love my brand kit in Canva. And I am doing a training later this month on how to get that set up, how to really use that. Okay. So what the brand kit does, it will keep all of your templates. Okay. So let's say you create a social media post, you really love the layout and you want to hold on to it. You can make a brand template. Okay. You can store all your logos in there. You can store your specific fonts. So, on the side when it says like heading, subheading, and body on the side in Canva, you can go through and pre-select and pre-say which fonts you want, which fonts you want for a quote, that type of thing, and save it in there. So that every time you do anything, you can just pull up those fonts, everything looks the same. Okay. You can also create a brand voice in Canva. I really, really like this feature. It's pretty much a way for you to tell it about your business. And it's things like, I want to sound friendly, professional, welcoming. I want to be short and concise. And my things, you're just kind of giving it like tips on how to talk for you. Okay. And how that really works and how that translates into projects is if you've ever gone into, a project and you see those little stars and it says magic write, or if you've ever used the Canva AI writing utensil, or what is it called? Writing feature. Sometimes it'll ask you, do you want to use your brand voice? It'll say brand voice on there. And if you click that, it'll write it with those descriptions in mind. Okay. And that's helpful because then you always sound the same. Okay. All your messaging comes across the same. If you're using Canva to write emails, and sometimes I'll do that in Canva and I'll compose my emails on a document in there because it has my brand voice, because I'm going to sound consistent across everything. Okay. So the brand voice is pretty cool. All right. And if you don't know where your brand kit is, it is on the side of every single project. It's right there. It just says brand with like a little crown next to it, and then you can select it. You can create multiple brand kits. So I have like three or four. I'm helping two other friends with two businesses. So I have theirs in there. I have my old color palette and logo and branding because I have done a rebranding. So I have that one in there. I have my current one. So I have a few different ones. So sometimes I switch in between. Okay. Another nice thing that Canva does with the branding, and I don't know if I had it in here. Let me add this to the brand kit, is the icons. I like the icon feature. I keep this in here because if you ever seen like those highlight thumbnails like on Instagram or whatever, I keep those in there. I've uploaded as many vendor icons as I can or vendor logos as I can, and I keep all of those in there. So anytime I need to go grab the Virgin Voyages logo or grab Disney or sandals or anything like that, I already have that in there. It's ready to go. I took the time, removed all the backgrounds, made them all look pretty so I can do that, right? If I want to create a page of all the vendors I work with, they're all right there for me. So that's a really nice feature. So you don't have to keep uploading all those photos. Okay. Now, with your logo, you can create a transparent logo in Canva. This is something, if you do have the pro account, I would do. I would definitely have an option for a transparent logo, just because it just makes it a little easier, right? You can drop it anywhere, make it look nice. You don't always have to be worried about that background. Now, I know we do have the background remover, but then you don't have to do that every time. I put this in here because I wanted a transparent logo and I had to keep using the background remover. And finally I was like, you know what? Forget it. So I just downloaded a transparent one and now it makes my life a lot easier. Okay. And then just a quick note about the resizing. Again, like I said, a lot of these are going to be pro features, but resizing makes it very easy for you guys to say, hey, I really like this post. I want to make it into a flyer. Awesome. That looks great. I want to make it into a landing page. Okay. If you haven't used resize, I definitely recommend even just testing it out if you have a pro account just to see how it translates. Makes it very easy to just move designs over and then you can just kind of rearrange to the different size. Okay. All right. And then last but not least is our website. Okay. Now, obviously, our website is one of I would probably say probably like our biggest marketing platform. It's our personal marketing platform, right? So there are several options. And some of these I know you guys are aware of. Obviously, we all have our travel website. Okay. That is our free website. There is also Wix. I do like Wix. It's not overly expensive for Wix. do a really good job with design. They connect well to newsletters, they connect well to blogs, like they have those features in there. Wix is a very great platform. I just found it to be a lot for me. It's not that it's not user friendly. I don't know what it was at the time. I like Wix. It just, for me at the time, it just seemed to be a bit much. But they do a really beautiful job. GoDaddy, where I buy my domains, they do offer websites. I do believe they cost now. I don't think that they do the free website anymore. Um, when I just did a domain recently and they have like a construction site that pops up until you decide to build a website. So that is one of the features that they offer. Canva, obviously you can do free websites. Okay, you can get that at canva.site.com. Um, right. And then or you can connect your domain if you have a pro account. Okay. And then Travefy, which we talked about earlier, is that travel CRM that does offer the website platform. I put the $30 a month just because that's what Travefy costs. It's not what you have to pay for the extra website feature. That's just the cost for the whole platform. Okay. And then Webador. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Webador. Webador was new for me. I had an agent start last year and like 2 days later, she was like, "Hey, I created my website. What do you think of it?" And she sends me this like beautifully laid out website. And I was like, "Where did you build this?" And it's called Webador. I really like Webador. My website is still under construction, but that's where I currently have mine. Okay, so they do have a free plan. It's very simple, drag and drop. One of my favorite features about Webador is that I can create, an entire website and say, you know what? I really don't like that template. I don't like that theme. I don't like that layout. I can go and select another theme, and Webador will change everything for me without me having to go back through and copy and paste and change this and change that. It'll change everything for me and it just swaps over. Okay. Oh, that's what it was with Wix. Wix will not do that. If you decide you want a different theme, a different template, you do have to start from scratch and create a whole new one. That's what it was. But Webador, I can change things, swap things around. It's very drag and drop. It looks really beautiful. And if you do want to upgrade, it is $12 per month. Webador will also host your business email, and you can do your emails through there as well. Okay. And that is included in the $12 for the pro. Okay. Now, I do want to click into some things and show you guys a couple of these things I talked about, but any questions before I get started, or anything specific that you wanted to see before I just show you what I want to show you? Anything, guys? Hold on, let me see if I can see your face. Everybody good? We're good. All right. So I do want to do my training flyers in here today, guys. So with Canva, if you are not familiar with come here, open, thank you. With the brand kit. Now, like I said, I will be doing a full training on this later on this month. What is this doing? I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what my Canva's doing right now. Okay, thank you. So it's brand over here. Okay, that's where the brand kits are going to be. Yeah, yes, Katie. So with that, the way to kind of get around that is to, when you're going through, it's going to ask you, do you meet with people in person or are you remote? And I know we all want to click remote. Okay. Select that you're meeting with people in person. Okay. Now, that does not mean that you have to have a physical travel agency that you're sitting down with clients. Okay. You talk to people in person about your business, you are talking to people. Okay. And I did reach out to someone who worked for Google, and I asked her that question several months ago, and that was the advice that she gave me. Other than that, she did say that Google has really cracked down on on all the remote businesses. I think there was just such an influx after COVID that some things have changed, but try that. Okay. That should work. Okay, so this is my branding folder. Yep, no problem. Okay, so this is the Canva brand folder. As you guys can see, I have my brand templates here, and these are things that I can just say, like, use this template, right? It's never going to change this one. It literally goes and makes a copy for me. Okay, and then I can start designing from there. And then I have my brand kits. As you guys can see, I have several. So this one, oh, no, we're going to use my old one because that has more. So like I have my logo, my colors, and you can add multiple color palettes. Okay, let's say you haven't decided on your colors. You want to see what looks good. Okay, I can go through and select my fonts. I didn't do it on this one. At this time, I wasn't too picky. I do have it selected on my other one. And then I have my brand voice. Okay, so you can kind of see now I did have to kind of keep this concise. You have 500 characters for this brand voice, but you can kind of see like I just kind of give it some points, kind of how to talk. Okay, and then you can use it in a design. All right, I have some photos that I uploaded and then my icons. Okay, so these are some of those thumbnails that I was talking about for like those highlights that I keep, and then I keep the vendor logos down here. Okay, so at any time in any design, I can access all of this right there. Okay, I don't have to copy and paste color codes. I don't have to go find my downloaded photo and search, 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 search. Okay, let me, guys, let me get you guys my Travel Joy link. So you guys had asked for that. Okay. Was this helpful for you guys overall? I know we said we had some twos, we had some sevens and eights, but I hope that it was still helpful for you guys no matter what level you were at. There's always something we can learn. So, okay, hold on. Sorry, let me open this up here so you guys can see. So I will show you Travel Joy because that's my current one. So this is Travel Joy. This is a travel CRM. Okay. So high level overview, right? You can kind of see I have my pipeline of clients. And again, I did recently switch back this, so I still need to, well, on my laptop, it works on my phone. Canva's just weird sometimes. Apparently it's throwing a hissy fit this morning. I'll tell you that. Okay, so I can track all my clients, right? From beginning, follow-up proposal, trips booked, etc. Okay. I can, this is the view the group page that I've put together. Okay, so for something like this, I will show you guys kind of what that looks like. Review booking page. And this is one thing I love. So like I can send out this link, right? I do this whole group. Now, this has since closed. Everything's no longer available, but they could come in here and click their package. They can select any extra options. So for specifically for Margaritaville, there's an extra charge to pick your room. So I put all that in here. I put the gratuity information, everything. Okay. So what it would do is it would go through, let them select. They can select how many people are traveling. So for cruises, we have single occupancy rate, double occupancy rate. You can put both of those in there. So if they select one person, it'll automatically populate that single occupancy rate. They can do their deposit. They can put in their traveler information, all of that stuff. Okay. So I really, really do like that. And then Travel Joy, obviously you can keep track of your calendar. It'll drop tasks in there. Like, see, those are my clients traveling later this month. So it automatically drops all that in there for me. This would be the CRM part of that. Okay. So this is all of my clients. Let me move so you guys don't see. Just move to emails. Um, and then the templates. I didn't want to sit on clients too long, but then they also have the templates. So you can see you can keep all of these in here. So from different types of confirmations to all the types of emails that you need, forms, invoices, etc. Okay. Library is going to be those items. Like let's say they're going to Mexico, they're going to a resort. You've never booked this resort. So you put it into your itinerary, you put in all the details, save it to your library. So next time someone goes to Mexico to that resort, you just click on it, all that information populates. Okay. You can save your signature in there, task. You can save your terms and conditions. Okay. It will give you your commissions and sales. So funds is where this is going to be that trip funds thing. So just be cautious of it if you guys do want to use that. Okay. So again, I know this is a very, very like high level overview, but I will show you who had a good one. Uh, I don't really have good. Well, this one's a Disney one. Let me see. I don't think they'll mind. They won't mind. I wanted to pop up the itinerary. Invoice, itinerary. I wanted to see if it would open. Okay. Let me preview this. Okay. So this is an example of an itinerary. I can come in here and kind of drop it in. This one's very, very simple. They were just going to Pop Century. Like I knew all the info, etc. Um, but I can go through, add all this in. I added, a little video about it, then description, the photos, all their packages. So this is a very, very simple one. You can make definitely more in depth. They do sections. They do have a cruising library in here, so you can go and search for cruises for your clients and just kind of drop it in. So a lot of really fun drag and drop features, but I really, really do like Travel Joy. Thank you. And I do like the personalization on it, guys. I don't know if you noticed that, as Elizabeth said, the how you pop up here. Let me open that itinerary again. And this is, I did really like this in Turn. That was a big thing about Turn. I loved how Turn had like a whole little square for me, like my own background picture. I really like them. They really need to change that feature. But yes, right. I have my little signature there and my photo, and that goes on everything. Okay. That goes on everything. So they know this is from Jackie, your personal travel agent. Okay. And now most CRMs should do, or most travel CRMs, I'm sorry, should do pretty much all of these features. Okay. So these are just the features that you want to be looking for. Yes, America. I do all my itineraries through Travel Joy, so even if they're simple, um, I will still put it in. So like this one down here, these two Margaritaville cruises, I didn't I didn't send them itineraries. I created the itinerary in here. They're very good friends of ours. They're older couples and they're just like, we just want to get on the phone and tell you our credit card number. I've booked a couple trips for them. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I created their trip. I created them as a client. I went into their contact and added that card number to their contact. So now I have that information stored because again, they book with me. They typically use all the same cards and everything. So I have all that info in there. Okay. I pretty much like acted like that, but just clicked through and did what I needed to do. But I'm wanting to keep that in here because it tracks it for me, right? Now they're on the calendar. I don't have to go in there and write it on the calendar. So I do try to do all of my travel stuff through one platform. Okay. Even if you're doing, excuse me, even if you're doing all your quotes in Canva, if you're building your itineraries on Travefy or Turn or Google Docs or wherever, whatever platform you're using, make sure that you're staying consistent with it. Make sure that it's all in one place and you know where all that information is. Okay. That's just why I do just find a travel CRM to be a little easier. But they're so pretty too. It is. Travel Joy is very, very clean and professional, and their smart proposals are a lot of fun. Okay. Try it out. Absolutely try it out. Oh, that's what we were doing. You guys are looking for my link. Where's my link? Is that it? Give 50 of that. Oh, there it is. Copy. You can clearly see I don't really give this out. Okay, so there's my Travel Joy link. I think that, are they doing the 50% off? All right, so if you do that, you get 50% off. Oh, okay. I will get a $30 credit. If that bothers anybody, I'm not going to be offended if you go set up your own account and you don't want to do that. Not offended at all. As you can see it right there. Okay, but you will get 50% off in your first 3 months. So if you do choose to use Travel Joy. And I think it's, what do I pay? 30 bucks? 30 bucks a month for Travel Joy, I believe. Okay. And then, oh, the last thing I will mention, I did say I was going to talk about AppSumo. Um, do not get lost on AppSumo. AppSumo is a, I don't know how to describe it. It is a platform for all different types of apps and other, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a one-stop shop where you can purchase and buy into stuff like social monials. Okay. And typically the biggest thing about them is that they do a lot of these lifetime deals for cheap. So I have found organizational platforms, scheduling platforms. They have so many really cool things in here. I've seen a lot of different travel agents use different things within this. The biggest thing again is that lifetime. Okay. A lot of these things are lifetime. So if you see a new platform, you're like, ooh, that looks cool, check out Sumo. They might have it. They might be running a really great deal on it. They help with a lot of startups. So if there are new platforms coming out, new AI, stuff like that, they go to AppSumo because AppSumo kind of helps them build that. And a lot of these places, what I have found, especially when they're new, they're the types of companies that you get in, you get signed up, and they're the ones like, hey, give us your feedback. And if you and you can really kind of help them in the development of their platform because sometimes that's what they're looking for. Um, Yeah. Ooh, 10% off. Wonderful. All of my discounts, okay? It's kind of hard for me to describe AppSumo, but I could get lost for days looking at all different types. Okay, looking at all different types of platforms and everything. Okay, but it does have that socialmonials on there for life. Hmm. Well, look at this, cut marketing costs, and they got a free app there. So check out AppSumo, see what's on there. If there's anything that catches your attention, um, you can definitely go and try it. Okay. I don't want to deep dive into that. I'll be on here all day, all day, all day, all day. Okay, guys, any questions? I think that's all I wanted to hop in and show you specifically. Any other questions, guys? Quiet today. I won't bite. We're on Zoom, I promise. All right, guys, if there aren't any questions, that was all the info that I had for you. I hope that was helpful. I hope that that just, helped you guys with everything. Okay, one second.